Yo, what's good, people? It's your man Nat Busy, aka Nat Burns, and we're tuned into another episode of the God Hour Live. Welcome. Today, we just so happen to have a good brother that sings. He also raps, from what I heard, and he's dope. I rock with him.
Doing, bro?
I'm doing fair for a square, man. Welcome to the platform, man.
Thank you for having me.
Peace and blessings and all that, man.
Yes,
So,
sir.
like I said, you're a man after my own heart. We share names, you know. I just took the E off of it, and I go by Nat, but I understand you're Nathaniel, and
Yes, sir.
which is my government middle name. You know what I'm saying?
Mine too. Mine too.
That's your middle name?
Yeah.
Yes, Nat's got to stick together, man.
All day.
Now,
All
we got
day.
the same first name. This going to get weird, you know?
No doubt.
So, please, bro, I know you're an independent artist, right?
Yeah.
You're on your way up. I heard some of your music. I'm impressed. It's dope. I like what you're doing. You know what I mean? And but I don't want to miss nothing. So can you just inform the people watching who you are, what you do, where you come from, and all that good stuff?
Yeah, man. So I'm Nathaniel Star. That's what I go by musically. I'm from Charlottesville, Virginia. Right in the middle of the state.
That's Tiki Torch land, right?
Yeah, that's when the people came through for sure.
Oh yeah, that was foul ball.
That was crazy. They weren't from here, man, but they came here, you know, but
yeah,
it's crazy. We was all over the news for that, for the wrong reason. Yeah, so this is home. Yeah, man, that's why I'm a writer.
Okay.
I'm a writer, I'm a singer, I rap a little bit. I try to be an all-around artist, man, a bunch of different genres. Most of the people are familiar. Well, it depends. If you knew me back when I was doing my live band thing, you know me for acoustic guitar, the whole acoustic band, and everything else like that. Okay. That's more regional down this way. The DMV area, they know me primarily as almost like a boom bap soul singer / rapper. You know what I mean? So.
Okay. And when you say the DMV, I'm sure you're concentrating now more so around DC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever
That's who I run, but I run with people up there for sure.
You ever venture up to Baltimore, the Baltimore region?
I haven't, man, but you know, everything. I'm ready for everything, man. As soon as this foolishness clears, man, we on the road. Let's get it.
No question. We can carve out a space, man. You know, we gotta take this thing as far as we can, man. So you're also you play the instrument. You say you play the acoustic guitar?
Yeah.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. So how long you been in the game, man? How long you been doing this?
Man, so I mean that's kind of, you know, it's one of those like loaded questions. It's almost like, you know what I mean?
All right.
I started singing, you know, real young with my mother, my sister. We used to always sing. My mother used to tour the country in like a church group singing back in the day.
Okay.
This is back before I was born, back when she had me, you know, super early. So music was always around and always a part of my household. So I started singing. I started first. I'm a singer first. And then I started playing the guitar. And then probably around 13 or so, I started rapping. And then I've done them both, man. So from that point on, I was real kind of heavy with performing and all of that stuff like that, man, for a lot of years, man. But then I stepped away for about a decade. You know what I mean? I
stepped away for 10 joints.
I did, man.
Oh man, what brought that on?
Man, I saw some stuff that I didn't like, man.
In the industry.
Yeah. Because I was real close to getting like signed. Yeah. I don't want to say who, I don't want to say no names, I ain't gonna do none of that, but I was real close to getting signed. A couple of people were interested, man. I turned down $2 million deals, man.
Really?
Yeah, but wow. I saw some stuff, man, that just kind of shook me up a little bit. So I stepped away, man, started a family. But a few years back, you know, I'm back on it, you know what I'm saying?
No doubt, man, and we're glad to have you back, man. And I can totally relate, man. The same thing happened to me. I'm just bugging that you said it happened to you, because you said at 13 you started rapping. Yeah. And then, you know, there's a gap in between, because you say you took 10 years off and you don't look no more than about 23, 24. So
man, I appreciate that. I'm older than that.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, how you take 10 years off? Would you stop at 14 and then come back into just now? But
I wish.
But nah, man, the same thing happened for me. I'm an artist. I rap, you know, and do some things of that nature. But I took my hiatus probably when you was probably a lot younger. Mine's happened when Tupac got killed, and then Biggie was killed, and then I was just like, this ain't even fun, man. Like, we were supposed to do this to get away from all of that, and here we go in the thick of it. So I could totally relate, man. And the politics, man. You know,
man, it's an ugly monster. You know what I'm saying? It's an ugly monster. Like, I really love the independent route. If I were to do something at this point, man, it'd be probably like a publishing deal or something like that to write for other artists, because I do that as well.
No doubt.
I ain't really interested per se, man, in signing to no majors or nothing like that. That's not even. I had the opportunity twice, and it was crazy. It was real grimy, man. I was like,
Now, you know. Now I'm gonna ask you something, because this is something that always bugged me out, because I come from the mecca of the music scene. You know, I come from New York. It always bugged me out, and maybe it's just off my sheer ignorance of brothers such as yourself that come from these smaller markets that are able to work their way into, you know, the industry. What is that plight like for you, coming from a small town like Charlottesville, and even ending up on the radar of somebody who wants to throw a couple of dollars at you to produce you?
Man, you know what is kind of crazy? Like, I talked to my partner, my man Vintage. He's like, he's the other half of Ubuntu Sounds. We produce all this music.
Okay.
We talk about this type of thing often, man. And I think there's an advantage, honestly, man, to coming from a smaller place, because you think about it. Everybody goes to New York, everybody goes to Atlanta, everybody goes to LA. Really dope people in these perspectives on whether you're an actor, whether you're a singer, rapper, whatever it is that you are. So it becomes extremely hard to get noticed. I mean, your waitress is the next Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody's dope. They go to Nashville, everybody's dope. So fortunately, man, you know, this little city that I'm from, it's super crazy culture, man. And we have a lot of like imports from everywhere, New York and everywhere. Like everybody's here. And so even like the number one music management company in America is headquartered here in Charlottesville. It's called Red Light Management.
Get out of here. You serious? Now, what is Charlottesville next to?
Crazy. So Charlottesville is known for
I mean, what is it next to in proximity? Geographically, I'm not so sure where.
Richmond's not far. Richmond's not far. It's like Richmond's to the left of us, man. About an hour away. DC's about an hour and a half north. You know what I mean? So we kind of like right there in the middle of getting to anywhere we're trying to get to relatively quickly.
So do you know the good brother Boy Basu, I think is his name, as he goes by?
No.
It's a brother I had on here last week who was from Richmond. Dope brother, man, got some dope music. Might need to connect that. I'll send you a link to him, because he's in that area right now. Man, so the biggest music management company in the country, you're saying, is right there where you're at.
Right here, man. It's in Little Charlottesville. It's called Red Light Management. If you look at their roster, if you type in Red Light Management and look at their roster, it's crazy.
Wow.
So they got offices. They got other offices in New York, Nashville, LA, all these places. But the headquarters, the main headquarters, is like 2 miles from here. So that's why Charlottesville is always able to get like these national acts to come play here. Like, everybody comes and plays here. It doesn't matter from Jay-Z to Rick Ross to John Mayer to Red Hot Chili Peppers. Everybody comes here to play.
Wow. So
we get to see them on, like, you know what I'm saying? We get to see them on a large scale, and sometimes they do smaller, intimate shows. Like PJ Morton was here, and it was like a show of like maybe 150 or something, man. It was crazy. So
really,
it's just always been one of those hubs. I guess because of, like, you know, Red Light and people like that.
That's dope, man. I didn't know that. And the brother's name is B Basu. I think
B
Basu. You heard of him?
Nah, bro. Definitely send me that link.
Yeah. I definitely need the link, man. He's a good brother. That's interesting, man. And I do think it plays out another way too, because when we're in New York, sometimes we can't see the forest because we're one of the trees. And I guess if you're outside of New York, you can see all the advantages of New York from a better viewpoint. You know what I mean? And when we're in it, we're struggling because, you know, cost of living is high, chance of living is low. You know what I'm saying? We going through it. We're just struggling. And then we provide a lot of the culture, but we don't get to take advantage of it. And I think that works that way with just being an American. You got people who come from other countries that come here and can take quick advantage of something that we had access to all of our lives, but, you know, for whatever reason, we didn't tap into it. So what was your first foray into this music thing where you started to see that this is something you was gonna want to do as a career?
So like I said before, I had a band called Acoustic Groove Trio years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we put out this live album, whatever. We used to do shows around here. And I didn't know, but a member of En Vogue lived like 20 miles outside of town. And so
Really?
she one of my songs, yeah,
It
Maxine
wasn't
Jones.
Dawn, was it?
Nah, I know Dawn too. Dawn's cool.
I was on Dawn in the '90s, bro.
Yeah, listen, I was on all of them. It was crazy, you
Yeah,
know. They're giving me something, give them something they can feel. Video was kind
yeah,
of
it was
stupid,
crazy.
you know.
It was crazy. You're right.
Man, so it's like, yeah, that's my homegirl too. Dawn Roberts is my girl.
Mm.
So I didn't know, but she lived like right outside of town, and we had some mutual friends. She she heard one of my songs on a commercial. I leased one of my songs from my album to a commercial for something. That's some kind of city market or something. She
Okay.
heard it, and so like I don't know. At some point, a week or so later, my phone rang, and she was like, "Hello, Nathaniel, this is Maxine Jones." Da, 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 da.
Oh,
And like she
Maxine.
hit me like bro,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And you got
So
that
she hit
call?
me, man. She hit me, and I was like, I know exactly who you are. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Let me ask
you
you
don't realize I
something.
had a crush on you.
When you take that call and you're like this, hello, and she's like, "Hi, Nathaniel. This is Maxine Jones." You'd be like, "Hello, Maxine. Can you give me 2 seconds?" You know what I'm saying? Like
No
that's
doubt.
what I feel like I would have been on it. Like,
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
what was the conversation at after that? Like after
Man,
that?
she was just like, I heard your stuff. I really like it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to work with you. I like to get with you, and let's see if we can work some stuff out. So we've been tough ever since, man. Like this is forever ago. I ended up writing a couple songs for her.
Okay.
So that was my first like intro into it being like something that could be seriously profitable. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I've done little things here and there, but like they was the joint. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
for sure.
bruh. So to get a phone call from somebody that's legit and changed my mind, I was like, oh well, okay, I might be able to do something with this on a monetary tip.
No doubt. Now, was your family supportive? Your friends supportive? Did you have a good support system behind you?
Always, man, always. My biggest thing, man, my biggest thing was always I wanted to make music that my mother could listen to, um, and be proud that I was her son. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
No question.
I can't lie to you. The stuff that I was rapping about when I was younger was ultra violent. Like none of that stuff ever came out. I got cassettes of it. You feel what
Yeah,
I'm saying? I never released any of that stuff. I just couldn't.
yeah,
I guess it was a phase or whatever. But as it relates to music that I put out to the public, man, that was always my goal. Like I was never really gonna be involved with something that Mom Dukes couldn't be like, okay, that's my boy.
yeah,
And so, yeah, man, that's how that came about.
yeah. I always say that, sometimes, for what they want to call late bloomers, sometimes it's almost a better situation because you can approach the game from a much mature standpoint and a much more educated standpoint. You know, I'm sure there's some elder statesmen in the game now that could go back to, if they could go back to their earlier efforts, maybe Nas wouldn't have made Uchiwali.
Right.
Maybe some of these dudes wouldn't have made certain songs that you could get typecasted for, or somebody could say, well, you wasn't always positive. Remember this? And
Right.
and like you saying for your mom, because I was just like you, making whatever rhymed, and sometimes we were writing for shock value, the more,
Crazy stock value, bro.
yeah, the more disrespectful, the more violent, the more descriptive, the better. I guess what changed for me is when I had my son. I looked at it and said, damn, I want to make nothing that when he gets older, and this now is something in history, that he'll go back and say, my dad was talking about how he wanted women to do this, and he was going to shoot how many black men and stuff like that. So I think it's a good thing sometimes when you get that later start. You know what I mean?
I 100% agree, bro. If I had put that stuff out that I was talking about back then, I really wouldn't have a leg to stand on with the music that I make now.
Wow.
And that's truth, man. So it's like, I guess it's encouraging even within myself, man, to see the growth as an artist, because I couldn't rap about anything else. For some reason, that was the only thing that I could rap about. Don't know why. It's not like, you know what I mean? It wasn't even that it was so much angry. It was just violent, bro. You feel what I'm saying? So
Yeah, but that permeated the
I'm
culture.
thankful now. Absolutely, man. And it was shock stuff, man. You know what I mean? But I'm thankful that as an artist, man, I was able to, I don't know when the switch happened,
Hmm.
but I was able as a rapper to rap about other things
Hmm.
eventually. I always sung about whatever. You know what I mean? It's not you don't hear too many people singing, I'm gonna shoot you. So you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
That was never an issue. But there was some reason I couldn't make those worlds come together, man. But it happened at some point.
Wow, that's dope, man. So do you remember the first time somebody actually gave you a couple dollars for your talents?
Man, I don't, man. I'll be lying to you. Hmm.
What about? Do you remember the first time you got enough money that you could take care of a couple of substantial issues in your life? You know, like you were made enough that you could pay the rent, or you could pay the car payment or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. I don't remember the first one, but I can remember a recent one. The oldest one that I can't remember. I got invited to LA to play with the Jazz Crusaders. Um,
Mm.
they flew me out there. You know, I signed a contract. They flew me out there. They paid me. I was only going to sing one song.
Hmm.
They just wanted me to come sing one song and accompany them. Um, and they paid me well, man. Like and plus it was just an experience, bro. So you couple making a decent amount of money, enough money, as you say, to pay some bills,
Hmm.
and the experience that I got just because on that bill, I performed with Philip Ingram. That's Larry Ingram's brother. Matter of fact, Philip was a member of Switch. They had the Barge and all those guys in there.
Really?
Um, yeah, yeah. And the Jazz Crusaders, man, like they were one of the biggest jazz bands back in the day. In fact, the main dude that I knew out there, he played bass line. All those songs, all those Jackson 5 songs that you hear with the bass
Really?
line, that was really him playing that. Yeah,
Get
he was
out of
like a
here.
session musician. Yeah, so it was like that just to dive into that world a little bit, man. Like
And
I
this is
learned a
circa
lot.
this is circa what years?
Man, this is probably ooh, this is probably, I don't know, probably 7 years ago or so.
Okay, okay.
It's probably 7 years ago. It's not the first, like I said, it's not the first large sum like that, but it's the one that I can remember the oldest right now. I had to give
Okay.
that some thought, but man, it was just a dope experience altogether to get flown out to LA, to be with some folks like that. Man, just to
Yeah.
gleam off the way they rehearse. So I got to rehearse with them. Like
No doubt.
I'm not a real like big rehearsal type guy. And I was telling them out there, I probably made them nervous. I'm like, look, man, I don't rehearse well.
Nah, I know the feeling.
But when it's go time, it's go time. You know what I mean? So,
Absolutely.
but just to see their preparation and stuff like that, man. So that coupled with the money that I made was like one of the best experiences that I can recall, man. Like that was super dope.
No doubt. That's dope, man. So I know you said you had turned down a couple of deals before. What was your reasoning behind turning down those deals? Was it just the energy?
Yeah, man. So I don't even. It's kind of crazy. I don't really want to say stuff.
Uh-huh.
I could definitely say that ain't nothing for free, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. It
And I
wasn't
and
like
I
no Illuminati type situation, was it? Where they was trying to compromise your morals and things of that nature, was it?
man, listen. It was definitely some stuff where morals would have had to been compromised.
Mm.
Um, yeah,
Soul ain't
I
for sale. Yeah, yeah.
never, never that.
I feel you, man. I feel you, man. Man, like I said, man, it sounds like we're from a similar, parallel path because I've been through that myself. Where brother want to ask me, yeah, I like how you spit, but do you got something more killer, more dangerous, more gangster, And then you're looking at this person who clearly isn't from your walk of life. They
Right,
don't have to go home to some of the situations we go home to, but you
right.
want to keep fueling this fire that my people are being affected by the most. You know what I'm saying? So it is a crazy situation. Then we got the brother Nathaniel Starr. Um, this brother is, I've learned, is an acoustic guitar player, but he's also a heck of a singer. I would venture to say soul singer, and he got a few bars as well. He probably got a lot of bars. I ain't heard everything, but I'm definitely going to delve into it when this is over, man.
Word.
So, when you turned down those deals, is that when you stepped away for that hiatus?
Yeah, man. That
Okay.
those times were one and the same. It was just crazy, man. I don't really talk about it a lot, really, to anybody. I just make it known that I did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the type of thing, man, where you just when something doesn't feel right. So I worked with a cat back in the day, and he said, "Look, man, it's crazy because he's like, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's definitely not an alligator." You feel what I'm saying? Which is like a funny way of just putting things into perspective. Like, if that stuff don't feel right, if the vibes ain't right, and people are trying to get you to do things that will put you in a compromising position, maybe later.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't even always look for the compromise now. The
You gotta have some
compromise might
foresight.
be later. Yeah. And I was young. You feel what I'm saying? But I still, the way I was raised, man, I've always been a thinker, man, a forward thinker. So it just wasn't it, bro.
So how was life during the hiatus, man? Because when you got this music in your system like that, that could feel like death. I mean, for me, I know it sometimes
It's
felt
death.
like death,
It
waking up
would
every
have been death.
day and not doing what you love to do.
So when I say I took a hiatus from the performance and making money side of it. I never stopped creating music. I
Absolutely.
can't stop creating music. Like I tell people all the time, like making music is like breathing. Like I
Yeah,
can't stop breathing, so I can't stop making music. I feel like I would probably literally die if I stopped making music. So I
indeed.
never stopped creating, man. I'm a 3 song a day type of guy. So it's like,
Really,
yeah, to this day. Like, and back then I was like a 5 song a day dude.
no
It's
doubt.
crazy. I've always been on it like that, man. So there's no way I could just stop making music.
Mm.
That never happened. I just stopped from the aspect of trying to make it a business that I was
Yeah,
going to be out here, like, you know what I mean?
no doubt. Yeah, creatives are gonna create if they don't do anything else, man.
We
That
die
that
from dumb.
that pen is gonna move. So the 10 years goes by. What was
Mm-hmm.
it that pulled you back into the game, or that told you, like, yo, I'm gonna give it one more shot at this?
Man, I feel like the state of all industries now, like, so the old guards have been neutralized in a lot of sense because of the internet. Like, it's like
Yes.
you have direct access to people that will purchase your music. I don't really like calling people fans. That feels weird to me.
Yeah.
Like you have
Appreciate
direct, yeah, you have people that appreciate your craft, man. So um you don't need that middleman. So their grasp on the control of what you're trying to do is extremely loose. Yeah,
you.
they could promote you and get you there a lot quicker. They could rocket you off quicker, but you can still get there without their help, man. So recognizing the changes in the way that I could approach it now, I could do whatever I wanted to do. I'm looking at my wall up here, man. I got 6 albums finished. 6 albums over here that I'm working on, all different genres. You know what I'm saying? I can do it, put them out when I want to put them out. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I just create, man. So sometimes when you sign your life to that dotted line, it's not really your name. You sign your life to that dotted line. You have to produce in a way that they want you to produce, like you just mentioned. Hey,
Yeah.
you got anything that's a little more violent, a little more whatever, and they control that.
Mm-hmm.
So when I realized that they can't control everything the way they used to, I was like, all right, let's get it.
Okay.
Let's get
So basically, when the playing field evened up a little bit,
yeah.
as we say in the street, you could cut out the middleman. You know what I'm
That's
saying? There's no conduit you have to go through. You know what I'm saying? Um,
right.
how's the process been? Because I know for somebody like myself, the biggest issue is the technical side of it or the administrative side of it. Because sometimes when you're being creative, you just want to be creative, and that's where I
Right.
think a deal comes in at. If you got
Right.
the right team around you, because you can just concentrate on making the music, performing the music. But when you got to try to make the music, perform the music, market the music, promote the music, follow
Yeah.
your analytics, follow your, all your money, make sure your publishing is good and all of that, it could
Yeah.
become a little taxing. So what were you able to do to offset that? How were you able to attack that from that perspective?
Man, I got a few good people around me, man. Like I said, I got my brother who primarily makes most of the music that I record to now.
Hmm.
Every once in a while I do some guitar stuff, make a beat or two or something. But he primarily, his name is Vintage. He primarily is the producer. I have another good friend of mine, a brother of mine, named Mike Moxham, who's an engineer. And like in their turnover, is just like mine with everything. Like he's sending me stuff now as we're talking. My Dropbox is getting mixes for songs that I've sent.
Mm.
So it's like I'm able to stream a whole lot of that stuff. So I don't have to worry about that. Like I can create, they get it back. As far as analytics and stuff are that concerned, man, I mean, I'm probably not the best at that. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I pay attention to every aspect of it, but it's not. I'm not a master on the administrative side of things, man. I do what I can do. I try to follow, the blueprint that seems to work for an independent artist. I mean, I get a
Absolutely.
lot of love in UK. I get a lot of
Yeah.
love in like Canada, Nigeria. It's crazy. Like I get a lot of love in other places, man. It is not necessarily because of anything that I'm doing. It's just because those walls have been knocked down, man. People can reach out to you. Like I talk to people all the time. Like they hit me in the DMs. They want to work. They want to do this. They're from all over the world. So
Mm.
I think, like I said, man, the approach is so different, and we're able to do stuff now that even the administrative side isn't as difficult or tasking
Yeah.
because a lot of the stuff runs itself. You know what I mean? For instance, Instagram, you can just look at all your analytics right there. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't really got to
It
pay
has helped a lot versus what we thought we were up against back in, say, the 90s or whatever.
crazy. We was up against it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and then there was a lot of people talking over your head, when they knew you didn't, when the information was kind of you know amongst only a few, they used it against you a lot of times to make you think the task was much more difficult. And it was a
Absolutely.
much more difficult process back then, to even
It
record
certainly
was
was.
very expensive and
It
things of
certainly
that
was.
nature. Yeah.
You had to go, so you went to their studio, they got you on the clock, like you're paying for that studio time. What a lot of artists didn't realize back then was like everything was alone.
Yeah.
Everything was studio time was alone, the mixing was alone, the mastering was alone, the money they fronted you up front to get you to start it, that was alone. So like before you even sell a record, you're so far in debt that they own you anyway.
Absolutely. And you don't
You know,
think it's a loan because they're calling it in advance.
that's right. The
Yeah.
wording, man, like you saying, they were talking over our heads. We running out, buying all the jewelry, buying all the whatever, and next thing you know, it's time to pay. And so what happens if your album doesn't do well?
Yeah.
What happens if they don't like what you did and they decide to shelf it? You still owe them that money.
That's a
So it's
fact.
like, man, they got us. They back then they got us in a crazy situation, bro. And even today, like, so even though they're becoming dinosaurs, they're not dead. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of good uses for them. But they still so things have changed in the aspect now. They want to sign people to 360 deals. They want to make money
All
from
around
stuff
the
that they
board.
got nothing to do with anything that they
Yeah.
brought to the table because they have to find new ways to make money themselves
Yeah.
because of the neutralizing that all of this type of stuff does.
Yeah. So that speaks to, like you said earlier, they really have your life now, because before you sign your deal and they may be jerking you where it comes to your royalties and things of that nature off album sales, but you were able to go out and probably secure an endorsement deal, or you're able to go out and perform and make money, or you're also able to put yourself in certain other situations, like if you want to get into some acting or modeling or what have you. But now when you sign that 360 deal, which everybody knows 360 is a circle. That's all around the board. They want a piece of everything that you got because they have no more leverage.
That's it.
They give you a lump sum of money up front, and then that's your leverage. So I would just say, if you are considering signing a 360 deal, make sure they're giving you enough money that you can make your own way, and put some terms on it, put some conditions on it, some
Oh, yeah. I don't even believe in the 360 stuff, bro. Like,
yeah.
no, I can't.
Yeah, I've never signed a deal in my life either. It was always close to the deal, and then you start looking at some of the language if you got some sense about you. But I remember I came up with some brothers that be like, yo, I'm signing. That's so and so. I'm signing. And then you sign it, and now you're on the shelf, and now you're bitter. You know
Now,
what I'm saying?
and where are a lot of those people at right now?
I remember I wrote it in a song. I said, now you a habit. Now you got a habit because your dreams got shattered. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
they took something that was so precious to you, something that was
Yeah, that
so
stuff can break a person,
pure.
bro.
Yeah, and then they take it and they play these politics. And these are people who don't rap, don't sing, don't have anything to probably even do with your particular culture, and they're controlling it. And you got to sit back. And sometimes, I've watched some of my rapper brothers out there that are pure street dudes. You a gangster, and you
Yeah,
was a gangster in every other realm of your life. See, you can't do it like Ice Cube did it back then, when he go into Priority Records with the baseball bat and knocking
yeah.
the pictures off the wall and stuff. You do that now, it's a totally different ramification from that. And you shouldn't even put yourself in that position.
Nah,
But
man. They definitely understand, man, that a lot of us come from a situation where it's dire. You know what I mean? Most of us are project babies. You dig what I'm saying?
that's a
So
fact.
um they know that we hungry,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even literally hungry. You dig what I'm saying? So the drive is there. And so a lot of times we didn't put the effort into that side of the coin. And they knew that. And you know what I mean? So that's business. Unfortunately, that is business, but it's our responsibility to know and understand those aspects of the business so we can't get taken advantage of like that. If somebody says, if you can get something for pennies on a dollar and sell it for this, that's what somebody's gonna do. It's on the
Absolutely.
person that they're trying to scrape like that to be like, nah, we're not doing that. We're
Mm.
not doing that. I need this. I require this, or the deal is done. I think what artists didn't realize, but they realize now, is that the true power is an artist. These people don't make music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're not out there like artists have the power. Artists have always had the power, but it's an illusion. It's always been an illusion that we don't.
Well, it was a lot of organized crime that was controlling the music business in the early years.
Facts,
Especially of black music being
man.
popularized. There was a lot of lawyers that was ending up with their names as a writing credit. A lot of
Crazy.
managers getting publishing. Dudes were signing off their publishing before they knew what publishing was.
Before they knew what it was.
Yeah, I think you got a situation going on like right now between Mace and Diddy. Where Mace feels like Diddy took something from him, but Diddy's like, I paid you. Just because you didn't read it, don't mean it doesn't make it my fault. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But yeah, the music game is really funny and fickle, man. And
Crazy.
I played it from a distance for a long time. Some of my brothers get on me like, yo, where's the music at? Where's the project? And I sometimes always took the position that said, when I made the music and I liked it and I played it for a few people in my circle that liked it, I had done my part, because I make music simply because I love to make music.
Right.
I'd rather keep it there than put it out to the world and it get all murky and now I just hate it.
Yeah.
That was something that happened to me with sports. Like, I played basketball. I used to love playing basketball. Then you get certain coaches that are politicizing it and playing games with these kids, and now you hate the game of basketball. Now you don't play as much. You take on a couple of pounds, and now you're
They
disconnected
can
from it.
steal your passion, man. They can steal your passion.
Absolutely, man. So um, I know it sounds like your circle is kind of small.
Keep it
Um,
smooth.
a small circle. Have you worked with any other artists that people may be familiar with, as far as collaborating on some tracks or whatever? And if so, who are some that we might be familiar with?
Major artists I've worked with: Dave Matthews Band.
Oh, that's big,
Um,
bro.
yeah, they from here.
You could
They from the city.
get out of here. You could stop
Yeah,
it right there. Dave Matthews, man. That's wow.
they
That's
from
dope.
Charlottesville. They go hard. I think they're maybe the only band to like completely sell out Central Park.
Get out of
Like,
here.
yeah, they did that joint back in the day with standing room in Central Park.
Mm,
It's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, those my folks. They're from Charlottesville. Um, I did some background vocals for Jason Mraz for a project out. It hasn't come out yet. It's a pop artist. Like I said, I did some stuff. I wrote some songs for members of En Vogue, Maxine Jones.
Hmm.
Uh, let's see. As far as people in the DMV area, I've worked with a number of them on some projects that are coming out. On my stuff, I worked with some stuff on their projects. Like, you think about you know Camber from Low Budget.
Unfortunately, no, I'm not familiar.
Stupid crazy MC, bro.
Oh
Stupid.
wow.
Um, a lot of cats, man. I work with a lot of people from up there right now. A lot of stuff that's coming out real dope stuff. I only want to tell people too much, man. I kind of want to make them wait for it a little bit, but yeah, man. A few artists, different genres. Like, I write all kinds of stuff. Like I got an Afro beats album coming out. I got a blues album coming out. I got an emo album coming out.
Wow.
Of course, I got boom bap rap stuff. I got a soul album. My next project that's coming out early June is straight love songs. It's called
Wow.
Arrow. Only love songs, man. I'm featuring a couple people on that. Yeah, man. I'm all over the place. Like, so I'm an artist without a genre, for real, man.
That's dope, man. That's dope. So how you holding up during this quarantine, man? How's that affected your creative process and some of the things you're doing business wise?
Man, I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, it's been a blessing for me. You dig what I'm saying? Apart from just the mental aspect of it, man. But I'm able to stay home and create like never before.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, I could wake up. I made a post on Facebook the other day. I was like, when I wake up in the morning, I don't go eat breakfast until I finish finish a song. You dig what I'm saying? So
Yeah, that's
good.
dope. That's
That's
dope. Because
real.
I heard a quote one time that says when you wake in the morning, you should create before you consume. And I
Oh,
guess
word?
yeah. But they were talking from the standpoint of the people who wake up and the first thing you do is you get on Instagram or you get on Facebook or you go to somebody else's, you go to social media and you're seeing what somebody else has created and you're ingesting that before you're creating something yourself. So
It's
I like that
counterproductive.
philosophy. Yeah. Before you even eat yourself, before you even consume food, create
I'm in
something.
here
Man,
record.
I might have to adopt that philosophy, man.
That's
So
how
so so what you got going on right now? What is something that you think the people should go get and where should they get it from?
So most of my stuff is available on all the streaming platforms. It's on all the platforms you buy music at, man. Under Nathaniel Star. I just did a project. I did a free project. Like, so I don't really do a lot of free music, but for Black History Month, I did a project called El Negro. It was 28 songs. I did a song for every day of the month. You know what I mean? And talking solely about Black issues, Black life, Black love, Black strife, Black empowerment, Black everything. The album's called El Negro. That's only available on my Bandcamp page, though, because I didn't want to sell it. I wanted it to be free, so I made it available only on my Bandcamp page.
It's still out there?
Oh, yeah, I'll never take it down. In fact, I think every single February I'm going to re-release it on Bandcamp or re-announce its release as a free project every February. Because what I did, every single day for the month of February, I highlighted a song and I highlighted a Black person of historic, like
Significance.
notoriety. Yeah, it's significant.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
on my IG, and I
Somebody
made
in the
videos. We
arts
made
fam,
videos.
they said it was dope too.
Who said that?
In
Oh,
the
word,
arts fam, that's the family,
word. I
man.
appreciate that. Thank you.
That's your cousins right there. That's us, man. We all in there together right there.
Ain't no question, man. So the next thing I got coming up, the next project that I want people to look out for is the Eros album, man. I
How you
really wanted to
spelling that?
do Eros.
Okay,
It's like the Greek god of love, man. So
for sure.
I wanted a straight up love album. I wanted to return completely to singing and make an album that's love. It's straight up sensual, sexual vibes, heartbreak, everything. But it's all love. It's all love, man. Like, that's the next one.
Yeah, man. It's times like this where I feel like I was under a rock. You know what I'm saying? When I'm not coming across some of this dope music and some of these dope artists that are out here, because the radio would make you think that music sucks right now. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us aren't even listening to the radio no more. What's coming across your social media feed sometimes will make you think music sucks right now. And to hear what you've been doing and what you're doing, and to hear the little bit that I heard as I was prepping to talk to you, has me feeling like this is a definite breath of fresh air in the game. What are some of the tactics you think that we could come up with collectively to try to change that narrative to where we could take a bigger stake in what's going on in the industry?
Man, I think we just need to more than anything, man, we need to rediscover the beauty of us, man. Like I think, man, we take each other for granted so much that, and if we take each other for granted, we definitely don't promote each other. We definitely don't latch on to each other, man. So we have to rediscover the beauty of us, whatever your art form is, even if you don't have an art form, just the beauty of us as a people. First and foremost, man, like I think that's the bridge, that's the conduit, that's the real conduit that we have to repair.
Mm-hmm. Think you got a little stuck, but we're gonna come back. Oh, okay, it's all blood. It's all right. It's all good.
I tried to hit you with a video call. So we have to repair that bridge, man, before we could even begin to like move as a unit, man. Like we have to rediscover each other and see that each of us is dope and unique and just intelligent and smart and powerful, man. And attack it from that point, man. Once we get to that, that's the foundation. Once we get to that, everything else should be easy. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
We have our platforms. We're able to create. That's it. The only other thing left is recognizing each other and promoting each other and not being. I see. My thing is like, I've never been afraid to be a fan of anybody.
No doubt.
Like if you're dope, you're just dope to me. It doesn't matter if you are the biggest star in the world. If I've never heard of you, just the dude with the hat on, on an open air joint downtown somewhere. If you're dope, you're dope, and I celebrate it. You feel what I'm saying? Like I feel like sometimes a lot of people are ashamed to admit that they are a fan of something or that something else is good. Like because we wanna be that all of the time. Like if we can get past that, bro, everything's possible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly because I think that's what definitely messed up the hip hop game, and now it's messing up the R&B game. There was a time when the artists were relegated to the best of the best. You didn't even try. Instead of trying, you supported. So there were a few artists, in my opinion, that came about in the 90s that were subpar skill wise, but they had something that caught on with the people because, put it this way, most people can't sing.
Right.
So for the people who couldn't sing like myself, Keith Sweat became one of my favorite artists in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Because
Keith Sweat was dope, though. Keith Sweat was dope, though.
He was dope. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Keith, but we know Keith wasn't the best vocalist.
Nah, he wasn't. His pen was stupid, though.
If you were a non-singer like myself, it was easy to mimic. I wanna, you know what I'm saying? You can do that. Now that's with singing, and that's not a knock or indictment on Keith. But then when you move into the 90s and you got some of these brothers kind of doing hickory dickory dock raps, you know what I'm saying, or the nursery rhyme style raps, which are catchy because you remember these from when you was a baby. So now some dude is using a hickory dickory dock nursery rhyme type cadence, and he's got the shock value of all of this negative and violent imagery. You done caught a kid right now. It's almost like the Pied Piper, as R. Kelly called himself. Like you got these people following you, but where are you leading them to?
It's a fact.
And then for those of us that are trying to make positive music or trying to make music with meaning, they're squashing you before you can even get out the gate. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of tough, man, to fight that good fight. So I've always been wondering, like, what can we do? What common ground can we find to say, yo, this is the code, bro? We need to abide by the code because I ain't about censorship. I don't want to censor anybody. Nah. I'm not about muting anybody's voice or telling somebody that their art is not art because whatever you.
Absolutely not. Man, so I agree with you. I agree with what you're saying. Like, so I think that you can't not have all of these aspects, right? But the problem is that what's promoted and pushed out to the masses is only this small corner of it, right? So it's so skewed, man. Like it's so lopsided. Like I'm with whatever these dudes is talking about because that's a part of it. You know what I mean? Violence is a very real thing. A lot of us grew up in violence. It's real. So but there's also a way to artistically express that violence without glorifying or making you want to go shoot the next dude.
Absolutely.
You feel what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
all of this stuff needs to be talked about. It's subject matter. We lived it. We grew up in it.
Absolutely.
You feel what I'm saying? So never censorship. But also I feel like it's going to have to be on us to promote the other side of the coin, because they're not going to, because they don't see the monetary value in it.
Mm.
They don't see the monetary value. Everybody chases the dollar. But if we started to promote the other side of the coin, and that became like something they see, oh, we can make money with it. Oh, they be jumping out the window trying to sign everybody that's like Erykah Badu and Common and Talik. All of these dudes, everybody would be like,
Yeah.
but we have to show that we love it. Everybody follows black people. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
Culture is what people follow. You
Yeah.
dig what I'm saying? So if we don't show that we value it, nobody else is going to show that. They're not going to invest in it.
Absolutely. But and this leads me to a verse that I heard Jay say one time when he said, theoretically, I'd rather rhyme like common sense, but that don't make money, so I haven't been rhyming like common sense. You know what I mean? I love the double entendre in the bar, but it perfectly sums up how the mindset is. You know,
100%.
for me, I could be a brother that got hot bars, right? But I talk about the upliftment of my people. I talk about stopping the violence. I talk about this. I talk about that. But I'm dope.
Right.
A record label will look at me and say, "Yo, you dope," but that's not where the current
what a brand is.
state of music is going. We need something that's a little more edgy. And I say, you know what? That's not me. That's not what I'm here for. Let me get my CD. Let me get. You know what? Y'all have a good one. Right. Guess what? There's a brother right behind me that's like, "I'll do it." You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. No, there's 50 brothers right behind you.
Yeah,
that's like,
and I can't even, and this brother probably can't even rap at all. You know, you might have a ghostwriter that's not even from the culture, that's just pushing the envelope. And then, of course, kids, man, like, you remember being a kid and the first time you heard a curse word or you heard a curse word in a space that you wasn't supposed to hear it? It's amusing. Yeah. You heard what he said? Right. Now you got all of these people, because that's what hurt me, like especially in the early 2000s when I was watching some of these college tours. You know, it used to be a BET college tour, and it was one time it was Arrested Development, it might have been Tribe Called Quest, it might have been this, that, and the other, but then you started seeing some of these other artists that aren't even bringing, none of their content is positive. I mean, even with the most gangster rappers, I'm a little older than you, but I remember the most gangster rappers, no matter who they were. Notably, let's go with NWA. Yeah, they made all of that gangster music. They are called, they're basically the fathers of that gangster rap situation. But even they had a song called Express Yourself.
Word up.
You know what I'm saying? So
word up.
It's like right now we're void of any type of what do you want to call it, consciousness of what's happening to our community and our kids. And you just say, you know, they give the excuse, it's just music. But our kids are trying to personify what you're saying in your verse, you know?
Yeah, and it's never just music, man. It's never just music, man, because music is, as you know, one of the most powerful things in the world. Music has the ability to change completely the way you feel about something. If you're sad and you put on a song that it can take you out of that space for a moment. Music can relieve, or it can add on more pressure.
Trust me.
Like, people don't realize that one of the ways that Hitler was able to use propaganda to turn all of these people, you know, against Jews, he used a lot of music, bro. He had all kinds of stuff blaring that was anti-Jew. Like, music is powerful. There's a psychology behind it. So it's never just music. So anybody that says it's just music doesn't really understand the power of music. Like, it works on a subconscious level.
Absolutely.
It just does, man. So even if we think we're not being affected by the stuff that we hear or the stuff that we say that others hear, it affects. If it didn't, why would they even want to buy it? It makes you feel a certain way.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. You know, we could go on for days, man. I love this conversation that we're having, man. You know, I try to relegate this to just an hour. So, you know, as we're approaching the end of the hour, man, I wish I had a little more time, but I want to ask you something that's important. I know when I was coming up, one of the things we kind of lacked in the music, at least I didn't get it, was mentorship. You know, there were a lot of people that were gatekeepers that were in a certain position and they wanted to stay there. They weren't trying to teach the youth or bring them up. What's your position on mentorship? And do you mentor any other younger artists that are coming in the game right now?
Certainly, man. So there was a place that that's here. It's called the Music Resource Center. It's the only place like this in the country where you have kids, middle school and high school age, that can come and record in $1 million music studios. I'm an alumni. I went there when I was in that, and it's relatively free. You know, it's based on income, but it never gets above like $150 a year. Period. Every day you can come, you can stay from the moment it opens after, but you have to keep your grades up. Stay from the moment it opens after school until it closes, right? Dance studios, recording booths. You got several booths in there where you have the machines in there, the MPCs, all of that stuff. You got trainers, vocalists, guitarists, all of the trainers. So I go there. I'm a board member now of this place.
Wow, that's dope.
Proud to say I'm a board member. It was like full circle. So I stop in there, man, and there's a couple of kids in there that I really kind of pull under my wing, that I really, really rock with. They're super tough, similar type backgrounds. Most of them are actually girls. So just from like the projects, one singer, one is a singer and a dancer. It's just like, man, you have to realize that if we don't invest in our future, nobody's going to invest in our future, man. So I definitely try to do what I can on that side of it, because I recognize that myself. I try to practice what I preach, man. So I believe in that mentorship, and I try to do it to the best of my ability.
As much as you can. Yeah. And that program is so dope because it gives a behavioral incentive and it also gives an academic incentive. Yes, so even if music, if you don't succeed in music, you succeed in life, because you got some values that's been instilled into you, man.
That structure and everything, man. Like, so some kids come in, they may not even be into music at all. They just want to come out and be a part of the scene because it's a creative, safe space, man. For like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just dope. Like, and what I really liked about it, like, so when I was there many, many years ago as a member, I remember I was rapping. This is back in those violent rapping days when I was rapping crazy. But I remember there was this Asian kid. I can't remember what his name is. He was down the hallway in another studio on a violin. Complete different walk of life. He's from somewhere out in the county. I'm from South First Street housing projects. You understand? But I was like, yo, this track will be so dope with a violin in it. I went down there, got dude. He put his thing over it. So this center for the kids, man, has always brought all these different groups together. So that's another fine point about it, man. It expands your mind because you're able to see people from different walks of life that you would never really probably come in contact with unless it was a high school basketball game, a football game, or something like that.
Yeah.
But this puts them in a close, intimate space of doing something that we all appreciate. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
So that's one of the ways I try to give back, man, is be a part of that program. Man,
yeah. So for people who want to support you, because I know during this time, do you do a lot of touring?
Nah, man. I'll be honest with you. I don't do a lot of shows. That's by design. I'm really more about creating and putting music out. I just did a show. I just did a live stream show last Tuesday. This Tuesday that just passed, actually. Before that, man, it had been like 1.5 years since I played out. I don't really play out a lot, man. I'll come sit in with some people if they want to have me do something. I came in and sung at Priest of Nomads, something he had up there in D.C. 2 months back.
Yeah. Miss L from NDR's fam, she just put me on to this good brother tour. I was going to try and check him out before all of this happened, man. I think he had something that was coming up that got shut down because of this situation here. And this situation is totally messed up in that regard, man.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But I would like people that have listened to us today to definitely look for this brother. Check for this brother, man. Nathaniel Starr Music is at Nathaniel Starr Music is your IG tag. And where else can they see you at? You got a website, Facebook?
So I run all of my music through my Bandcamp as well. So
Thank
like
you.
in addition to being available on like Apple and all of these places like that, you can get everything that I've released to the public on my Bandcamp page, which is of course www.nathanielstar.bandcamp.com. Everything is Nathaniel Star. Nathaniel Star Music here on IG. And I gotta front. I can't front. I gotta tighten up with my IG post, and I'm never on Twitter. I'm on IG, but I'm usually like, you know what I mean, commenting on other people's stuff. I have to do a lot more posting
It's all
because
good. You're creative, man. You're creative, so I think we'd rather get that music, and maybe we can find somebody that can help you with the the promotion side of it and all of that. I'm not trying to be too shameless about it, but we're here. I see a little collab coming. We got Nathaniel Starr and we got Nat Burns.
let's go.
Stay
Let's
woke.
go.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's
Stay
go.
woke, man. But
It's not.
it was a pleasure talking to you, good brother. I hope this is only the first of many conversations to come, man. I do hope that we could, when it's all said and done, we can meet face to face, possibly collab on some things. If nothing else, bro, I support you wholeheartedly, man. And that's on the strength for the kente cloth. You know what I'm saying?
Word up.
Like as Suge Knight would say, we ride with you. Keep your guards up. You know what I'm saying?
Bro. I appreciate
any of you artists that don't want to go on a talk show and have a talk show host all in the video.
I see what you doing.
Come to the God Hour.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me, man. Thank you so much, bro.
Man, salute to you, good brother. I can't wait, man, to build with you some more, man. And keep that music coming. I'm gonna be checking for you. I'm gonna be sharing as much as you'll put out there. And I'll implore anybody else to definitely check for you and share this stuff. Each one needs to teach one, but it don't cost nothing to share. It don't cost nothing to just appreciate and admire. And when you do got a couple of dollars, man, hit the brother up. You got merchandise out there? You doing any merchandising, things of that nature?
Man, I have a clothing line, man. I don't really talk about it much.
We need to talk about it.
It's called Bamboo Starline. It's at bamboostarline.com. It's bamboo.
Bamboo Starline. Yeah, that's important, brother. We definitely need to chop it up. Miss L, NDR's family, please talk to this good brother off the scene so we can help him maximize all of his efforts, man. And that's what we need to do, man. We need to grow. Vantage. I think she meant Vantage. Post a lot of your music. If I'm not mistaken, Vantage might be here next week.
That's my bro.
Correct me if I'm wrong. But we're gonna chop it up with that brother, the producer. We're running out of time. We don't want to get cut off, man. One love, one life. Peace and blessings to everybody checked in, man. All my family, man. We're gonna keep doing this like this. I see y'all all on Monday. We got some fly stuff coming up then. It's the God Hour, man. Peace and love, Nat.
Appreciate you, bro.
I'm Nat. All right, one love, good brother.
Yes, sir.